What if I told you that being a travel agent is really just high-ticket affiliate marketing? Hi, by the way, my name is Brittany. I've been a travel agent myself since 2020. I have also helped other agents who are affiliate agents of mine not only sell millions of dollars in travel, but make millions of dollars in commissions from travel. And we're talking people who have only been travel agents for 2 to 3 years. So let's get into it. I'm guessing that if you've landed on this video, then you probably already have an idea of what affiliate marketing is. You're likely already doing it, or you're starting to get into it. You maybe have set up some funnels before, but let's just do a quick overview in case you come across this video and you're not familiar. So essentially, affiliate marketing means that when you recommend a certain product or service or software, you have a certain code and link affiliated with that company. And every time someone buys that product or service or software or whatever through your link, you earn a portion of the sale. It's usually a commissions-based percentage. Sometimes it's a set rate. So I just mentioned affiliated agents earlier in this video. Every time someone becomes a travel agent through my affiliated link, I earn $60 for that. And that's cool and all, but actually what's more exciting is that I also earn a 10% match on all of their travel commissions. So that means that if I have an amazing travel agent who I've trained and helped and mentored, and they earn a $2,000 commission, I earn a $200 commission. When I have travel agents selling group trips and making $10,000 to $12,000 commissions, I'm getting the $2,000 of that. So that alone should make your ears perk up, but I'm actually not talking so much about becoming an affiliate of other agents today. I first want to talk about actually being a travel agent and how that in itself is high ticket affiliate marketing. The travel industry is usually one of the slower, older ones. It takes a long time for things to modernize. We are only just now coming out of the age of doing everything with pen and paper. Yes, really. Up until last year, the directive we received from our host agency is always collect your credit card authorization form via this PDF. Now, to their credit, it is a fillable PDF, but even so, I'm sure some of your eyebrows just went up because what? Nobody really does that anymore. There are so many Google Chrome extensions and apps and tools that you can use to even write on PDFs digitally. So that was already putting us in the dinosaur age. But one really great trend that I'm seeing happen more and more now is that more companies, suppliers, and vendors that we work with, that means hotel chains, tour companies, basically anyone we work with, car rentals, all that, are starting to do affiliate links. So let me just briefly explain what that means. Say you decide you want to work with Virgin Voyages. They're a very popular cruise line. And because of who I'm talking to, I'm just going to say, if you're a travel blogger, YouTuber, content creator, influencer, you'll definitely want to pay attention to this. By being a travel agent, you can get a link from Virgin Voyages and you can actually send that trip page and just post it somewhere. You can create content around it if you are a content creator, and people can go on that page, select the room they want, book in for that group. It's that easy. And the nice thing is you'll know almost immediately how much in commissions you made from that sale. What are the commissions like? It depends. It's a percentage. So it could be anywhere from, depending on the partner and your host agency, like 10%, which is okay, that's cool, but up to 20 to 25%. And that's what I really want you to pay attention to, because especially as that total amount grows, then your commission percentage gets higher. So if you think about this, you might have a group of 20 people who all go on a cruise together. Let's just say they each spend $2,000. Your commission percentage is 12% after taxes and everything. Quick math here. So we've got 20 people times $2,000 each. That's a $40,000 total group booking. And let's say you earn 12% of that, because anytime you have a total commission, the agency is also going to take their cut. Very similar to travel payouts, by the way. If you are a travel blogger, content creator, influencer, YouTuber, Instagram, or TikToker, if you're not already signed up for travel payouts, you definitely should be. And I'll be sure to include all of their information in the description, because that's another great way that if for some reason there is not an affiliate link available for wherever you're working as a travel agent, you can go use that. Or even if you don't become a travel agent, look in the travel payouts, because they use all of these different affiliates. They put it all in one nice dashboard for you. Okay, anyway, back to business. So the host agency does keep a part of your commissions. Let's say you actually get 15% of that $40,000. That's $6,000. Now, I don't know about you, but I would be really happy with an extra $6,000, especially if my only work was really creating content I was going to create anyway, talking to people, which I do all day anyway, and maybe a little bit of admin on the back end, but that's pretty much it. The nice thing is, since they're giving you an affiliate share page now, you don't have to do a credit card authorization form. You don't have to even really go to the trouble of collecting their information to follow up with them as a lead, because if they're paying themselves, they can just do that. Although I do recommend collecting their information, getting their email address, following up with them later and all that, planning a little bit in advance, getting 20 of your friends or people in your audience, customers, clients together. You could even do a retreat or a conference or a workshop of your own. You could even collaborate. That's something I don't really see many people doing. You, as a travel content creator, blogger, influencer, agent, could collaborate with 5 others. And by the way, mega bonus points if you all have a specific different medium. So maybe you have one podcaster, one YouTuber, one TikToker. You all get together, you all decide on the same week, and then you all just sell it. And in fact, I actually know a couple of travel entrepreneurs who just did this recently with a whole trip to Antarctica. They sold out the whole cruise ship. Pretty amazing. So you could do the same thing. I do recommend, if you've never done something like this before, starting small and or collaborating with people who have already done this before. And just for buffer, give yourself a whole 12 to 18 months for your first group trip. That's good advice anyway, even if you're doing that on your own. But sometimes collaborating with people can actually take more admin at first once you figure out who's doing what, and then also just communicating with everybody. So I gave you a sense of the overview of the vision. I talked a little bit about what affiliate marketing is. What do travel agents actually do? And is anyone still using them now? I would say yes, you do. You actually probably use them all the time. If you use Booking, Expedia, Hotwire, Kayak, technically, though Google is not a travel agency, they do act as an online travel agency. So watch that space, because I think Google will actually become a travel agency within the next couple of years. If you use any of those websites, you are just using an online travel agency. They're getting commissions from all these travel suppliers and bookings, but you're not getting any credit for it, and you're doing all the work, and you're the agent on record. That is why when you book through Expedia, for example, and then you get to a hotel and something goes wrong and they tell you, sorry, we can't do anything, you booked this through a third party. Expedia is the travel agent. They're supposed to be advocating and acting on your behalf, but you're using them for the convenience and the deal, so you're sacrificing the service. Many people are waking up to that, and also in this age of automation and AI, anytime there's one big push in one direction, there's going to be an equal and opposite push in the other direction. So there are many people who do want to work with people, who do want to make sure that money goes to the pockets of individual creators and YouTubers and etc. instead of big companies. So I just want to encourage you there, if you are a travel agent or you recently became one, or if becoming a travel agent is something you've been considering, yes, there is demand. And if you're someone who's thinking, travel agents, is that even still a thing? Like, what is that? It's definitely in demand, and you can just think of it as high ticket affiliate marketing, because that's essentially what it is. Now, what is a travel agent actually responsible for on a trip? I will tell you what it's been traditionally, I'll tell you what it's going to now, and then I'll tell you what I do. Okay, so traditionally, a travel agent was someone who not only booked the trips, but they've really become more of an advisor. So they learn about the person. It's really a relationship business, right? You're getting to know the person that you're working with. They tell you they're planning a vacation, they have some time. They're either going to come to you in one of two stages. One, when they're thinking about planning a trip, going between different options. This is when they're shopping around. And if you are a content creator, this is likely when they're finding you. They're exploring on Pinterest, they're searching on Google, they're using YouTube. They're trying to figure out which place is worth it for me to go, what works for my schedule and my budget. They haven't fully committed to a place yet. They're not ready to book yet. And then there's the second time they reach out to you, and that is with credit card in hand, ready to buy and book. That is where you really want to talk to them as a travel agent, and I would argue as an affiliate marketer as well. But we of course want to have content for the inspiration and destination stage and education stage, because you can also monetize all of that content with affiliate links and start that relationship with you. They'll likely remember you down the road if your service and your content was so good. And of course, that's always going to be a caveat. We always need to be exploring and becoming better. The truth is, travel agents are content creators, and content creators should consider being travel agents if they're in the travel space. Many people, though, worry about the idea of becoming a travel agent because traditionally, travel agents were also the ones on the ground in case something went wrong. But so many things have changed. I, for example, don't really book flights for clients. To me, it's not really worth it with how airlines act nowadays. Things can change so quickly. I usually tell my clients, book the airfare yourself, but I'll send you some deals and ideas as an additional added layer of service, because I want them to know I've got them. So you don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can just choose, I'm not going to book cruises. I'm not going to do tours. I'm not going to do honeymoons or destination weddings. You really get a lot more freedom versus a traditional travel agent who had a brick and mortar business. They were a pillar of their community and people actually went into their office. You don't have to do that. That's the beauty of the modern age. Today's travel agent actually acts a lot more like a coach or a content creator. You are becoming the expert in your destination, type of travel or type of traveler, which if you're already creating content, then you're doing that. And you're making specific recommendations, creating and delivering itineraries and doing some travel booking and arrangements based on what it is that they need and what your niche is. And you get to decide, and I do think it's a good idea to think about from the beginning how involved or not involved you want to be. I personally do not offer any on-the-ground support for individual bookings. I'm actually doing fewer individual bookings in general these days. And I also don't do a lot of back and forth with email because honestly, I am not the fastest to respond to email. So what I'll do is I'll actually do a VIP day style session. I'll get some information from them in advance, and then I'll say, okay, on this day, this morning, this evening, whatever block of time, be available via text, whatever app you want to use to communicate. I'm going to do everything for you between this hour and this hour on this date, so be available in case we have to change out or have questions. And on that day, I'm prepared, right? I've already made the itinerary. I have an idea of who's going, where they want to go, all that. And then on that day, I'm actually just booking, coordinating it, and then finalizing everything. So this is a whole process. This is part of what I teach travel agents. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel, because if you are a travel agent or you're thinking about becoming one, you're definitely going to have some of these questions in the future. And even if you're just curious about learning more, you should check out the Pack Your Passport podcast, because it's really made for people considering becoming travel agents and newbie travel agents. The emphasis, of course, is on becoming the expert, delivering expertise in the form of content, products, and services, including itinerary planning and travel booking and service providing. And the focus is always on relationship building and personalized service. And that's just really sales and customer service, which you need for no matter what you do, even as an affiliate marketer technically. And there are some pretty core similarities between traditional affiliate marketing and being a travel agent, which I would say is high ticket affiliate marketing. Here are the similarities. One, you don't own the product. This could be a little bit of a con because you can't control what's going to happen when they actually get on the ground to the trip. You can't control how the service is going to be by the cruise line, by the tour operator, etc. But you can head that off a little bit by doing some research in advance. If you were doing affiliate marketing, you wouldn't recommend a product or service that you haven't personally used or that you don't believe in, or that you haven't received really good reviews or referrals or recommendations from someone elsewhere. It's commission-based income, so that's a similarity, right? That's why being a travel agent is like high-ticket affiliate marketing. There's always going to be a focus on sales, marketing, and service. Even though with affiliate marketing, many people are drawn to that because they like the idea of it being passive, quote unquote, I would argue there's no such thing as passive income. It is all leveraged, meaning a lot of the work is done at the front end and you do it while you're not getting paid hardly anything, maybe nothing. And then in the future, you're getting paid a lot for work you've already done in the past. I know many people say passive income and mean that, and I just like to clarify because there's no such thing as truly passive income. There's always work and energy and effort in exchange for money. That's my little mini rant. But sales and marketing and content, that's where it's at. Now, I just want to say too that if you are a travel agent, you actually don't have to be as content heavy as a YouTuber, content creator, influencer does, because you can rely on your personal network, referrals, and just good old fashioned outreach and in-person marketing instead of the stuff that we do online. But I do think it's a good idea for you to do both because it just rounds out your whole lead generation process. Okay, let's talk about the key differences between being a travel agent and then doing affiliate marketing. As a travel agent, you will build a more close, tight-knit, and deeper relationship with your clients, and here's why. If we think about how a lot of affiliate marketing is done, it's a lot of times search-based, SEO, YouTube, Google, Pinterest. They're finding your blog post. They may or may not really know about you, which might be a win in your book, but that's it. They go and buy. Maybe they do or do not like the product. Maybe they return it or ask for a refund, whatever. We really don't know, because unless we collect a way for us to contact them and build a relationship with them in the future, like getting them added to our email list, having them follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, etc., we don't really have a way to follow up with them and see how it went. But as a travel agent, there's more skin in the game because your name and face is often attached to the transaction. And I know many people are scared of that, but I would say it's actually a good thing for them because that person gets better service, and for you because here is the big deal. You don't need that many clients to make a completely full-time income from this business working part-time hours. And that's really important for you to know. I am not a mega influencer. I don't know, maybe I am by the time you watch this, but likely not. And that's okay. You don't have to be. These people who book with me, and also because I do group trips, so I'm really up in it, they're my friends. They travel with me. They meet up with me. I go out of my way to meet up with someone else, by the way, if they have booked multiple trips with me, if they have spent a lot of money with me some other way, I think it's a good idea to do that. But also, I think of it as like the Taylor Swift tactic. If you're willing to do what other people are not willing to do, you're going to have the results that others will not have. And Taylor Swift shows up for her fans. I know it's weird to think about customers or clients as fans, but they really do look up to you and admire you. So why not lean into that? Now that said, you don't have to, but I think if you're going to be having an online approach first, doing stuff with them offline in person is great. If you're going to have more of an in-person approach, I do still think it's good to have some online presence just to balance out what you're doing. That ongoing support versus the one-time sale, I just want to clarify again, that is what most people see as the big difference between being a travel agent and doing affiliate marketing. Although I would say being a travel agent is high-ticket affiliate marketing, but you get to choose what kind of support you give. And the big part of this is setting expectations from the get-go. Letting potential clients, so we would call those prospects, people who may or may not be quite interested yet, letting them know what your expectations are through your content, through your website, or whatever channel you're using. And then once they're leads, which means they're interested in becoming a client of yours, or maybe they've been a client in the past and they're interested in working with you in the future, that's when you just are constantly establishing those expectations in your communication with them, both before, during, and after the booking process. And this is a big one, but the industry perks. Okay, so I'm not trying to do a hard sell on you becoming a travel agent, but I really do think if you are a travel creator, you should consider it. Because yes, so many of us are drawn to this industry because we're travelers ourselves. We want to get free trips, right? We want to get invited to these epic experiences, these beautiful places and destinations. If we can go for free or for less, like why wouldn't we? But here are some perks you get as a travel agent that you don't get as maybe a content creator or someone else doing affiliate marketing. One is the deals and the discounts, and they vary all the time. So I'm not even going to talk about all of them here. I will say though that I know agents who have gotten free Disney tickets, basically free cruises where they just had to pay the tax. We're talking like $35, and significant prices off group tours. Like one agent I know actually went to Machu Picchu in Peru and paid only 50% on a G Adventures tour that she would have paid full price for anyway. And she even made some commissions off the back of that because some of her friends went with her. So that's another thing to consider. If you don't want to have this massive group trips business, you don't have to be bringing 8, 10, 12, or 25 or more people every time. You can just get some friends together. If you feel bad, by the way, I know some people will say, oh, I feel weird making money off them. I totally understand that. You can choose to give them a portion of your commissions back, or you could just put the commissions towards the girls' fund for the trip or whatever it is you want to do. So you get to choose. You also get invited to fam trips. I have mentioned this before, so if you're coming across this video for the first time, I'm sharing. If you've seen it before, sorry. But I actually got invited to an amazing trip to Antarctica, and I didn't have to pay for that because I have made friends in the industry and I got invited personally. And that is such a cool opportunity that I wouldn't have had otherwise. And also, you just find out about all kinds of cool things. I actually just found in my inbox yesterday about this cruise to Alaska, which I've been wanting to do for the longest time. That is a really great deal. And since it's leaving from an airport where I have some friends living, I might just go meet up with them because why not? Because now I have the flexibility to do that kind of stuff. And because it's a business expense, not a tax professional, but I'm always keeping track of that stuff for tax time. So if you've already been doing affiliate marketing, or if affiliate marketing is one of those income streams that you're interested in, I would highly recommend that you look into becoming a travel agent, or that you just outright become one. Whether you want to do it for your own travel and earn commissions back on the trips that you're taking, whether you just want to book for like family and friends and get the commissions back for that, or whether you want to turn this into a proper business and income stream on its own so that you could be earning hundreds or thousands of dollars per month, because it's possible. I've helped several travel agents do that already. And I also want to say, just because it's an elephant in the room in this travel space, there are so many people who are selling this kind of thing, right? Become a travel agent and do this. And here's why. If you want to succeed as a travel agent, as a high ticket affiliate marketer, I will help you. And I have so many resources here on this YouTube channel to do that, but you can also send me a DM on Instagram with your questions at any time, Travel Agent Haven. You can be really candid with me because I don't get offended. I actually think it's good for you to ask questions and make sure something's right for you before you get started with anything. So travel agent for your own travel, booking for friends and family as an actual revenue stream, part-time or full-time. I know several people who have reduced hours at work and quit full-time jobs so they could do this. Some full-time, some part-time, but you get to choose, which is really exciting. And the ultimate tip, by the way, I have several travel agents I'm personally mentoring who also have part-time jobs at an airline so they can get free flight benefits and all the travel agent perks. So that's a great way to double dip. I have so many personal stories too of people who are making this work for them in their own way. So definitely, if nothing else, or if you're just intrigued, check out the Pack Your Passport podcast playlist here on YouTube because I have all of their interviews there. So you can see what it looked like for a blogger to do it, for a TikToker to do it, for someone who's just doing offline stuff and nothing on social media. You really get to choose how this looks. But once I caught that, like once I realized that hosting group trips was something I wanted to do for my own community anyway, and I wanted to make money from that, and I wanted to go to these places for free, and I could even help other people host group trips, course and get paid for those, it's like a no-brainer, especially because if you have friends who maybe they don't want to be travel agents, but they want to get a free spot, guess what? Book it for them. So instead of these other big companies, I'm sure you could think of at least 3 big tour companies who are reaching out to travel bloggers and influencers like you, trying to go drum up business for them, why don't you be the travel agent who does that? You get the commissions, and then travel influencers and content creators can work with you. So just a few ideas for you there. But of course, I'm happy to meet with you anytime too and figure out how this would work for you and make a plan with you. And then I also mentioned at the beginning that if you want to have affiliated agents work with you, that's also an option. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was super helpful. If you have any questions, you can drop them here in the comments below right here on YouTube, or again, send me a DM on Instagram over at Travel Agent Haven if you'd rather ask me personally. I hope you check out the other resources I have available, and I hope we talk soon.